Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Jason McNeil. This is Couple Joe Canada. Today on the show, I want to discuss abortion. I want to discuss abortion sort of in the context of similar to a previous video that I did discussing the Americanization of Canadian media. And I want to discuss abortion and sort of the difference between the rules in America, the rules in Canada, the culture around the issue, and why I think it's a large truckload of horse crap that our media is trying to push the idea that your rights to abortion or your reproductive rights as a woman are in jeopardy if conservatives win. Now, you may remember we had a recent election and Andrew Scheer really got hammered on the social issues. They were asking him about gay marriage, they were asking him about abortion rights, two things that, in my estimation, the ship has sailed in Canada. Okay? These things are not going away. No one's going to take them away. This was, in my opinion, just fear-mongering. Now, it was successful because Andrew Scheer was not very eloquent and he was not very good at articulating his actual personal views as opposed to his political stance. And so, that gave traction, that allowed the narrative to work, and it I think hurt him, especially in Ontario. So here's the thing, okay? In America, you see a lot of news around abortion rights and around essentially centering around when does life begin, right? You probably heard about the heartbeat bill. This is a bill that they tried to pass, or they did pass in one of the states, maybe Texas, to say that once you have a heartbeat, this is a human life, and that means you shouldn't be allowed to abort the baby or the fetus. It would be considered murder, and so once it has a heartbeat, that's fine. Now, other people who don't like that bill would say that you may not even know you have a pregnancy yet by the time the baby has a heartbeat. So this really is just removing your right to make a choice to have an abortion, right? You could fall on either side of that argument. But this is essentially the crux of the argument in America. When is it no longer morally correct to abort a pregnancy? So you have some people trying to pass the bill to where right into the third trimester, right up to the end before the baby's born, and then you have people saying that you should be allowed to abort that baby, and then you have other people saying, no, that's terrible, that's very close to murder, it's the same as murder. They paint it as the most disgusting practice on earth. Now, Canada deals with all of these things very differently. So, first of all, let me say, Canada is the only industrialized nation where there's no restrictions on abortion. Okay? So, if you think about it, there's more restrictions on speech in America than there are on abortion in Canada. Okay? So, when we talk about access to abortion in Canada, what we're talking about really is we're talking about, how easy it is to get to a place where you can access abortion, and how many clinics are available, and how many doctors provide the procedures, and things like this. All the abortions are covered by healthcare. They're all paid for by taxpayers. And as I said, there's no restriction. Now, why would there be no restrictions? Okay, so essentially the reasoning is because in Canada, a fetus has no rights. Okay, in America, again, you're talking about fetal rights, and when that fetus has rights that would start to supersede the mother in America. In Canada, the fetus is classified as unborn non-human. Okay, so until the baby's fully born and fully removed from the mother and breathing and has a heartbeat, it's not a human life. That's the Canadian stance. Now, you can think that's good, you can think that's bad. It doesn't really matter what you think, that's legally where we are. So in Canada, we're actually closer to a place where you may not be allowed to say you think it's immoral or tell someone you think it's wrong. We're closer to that world than we are to the world where you're not going to be able to get an abortion, or where the government's going to take away your right to an abortion, or even where the government's going to say taxes won't cover your abortion. Excuse me. Abortion. So, yeah, it's two completely different worlds, and they're trying to conflate it. Like, I don't know if you saw recently, the Washington Post had an article. Said the headline was, "The Rise of Leslyn Lewis Shows That Abortion is Still a Powerful Issue in Canada." If you don't know who Leslyn Lewis is, you already understand the irony of that statement. If you do know who she is, you still understand it because this is an American newspaper telling you that Canada's, abortion debate is, really, it's back and forth. It's a close one. It's something to worry about. No, it's not. Not at all. America, maybe. Canada, no. Anyway, not trying to get into the morality or immorality of abortion, not trying to get into how you feel about it. All I'm trying to do is separate. This is how America looks at it. This is how Canada looks at it. This is why I don't believe it will be an issue in Canada, although I do expect if an election comes up for this to be in the news and for you to hear a lot about conservatives wanting to take away your abortion rights in Canada. Not going to happen. Not even close. That's my opinion. I'd love to know how you guys feel about it. Let me know. Jason McNeil, Couple Joe Canada.